What's up, everyone? Wes Hodkowitz here. Packers preview brought to you by Microsoft Copilot. My colleague Mike Spofford beside me. Mike and I here to preview the Green Bay Packers traveling down to Soldier Field this Saturday night to take on the Chicago Bears. NFC wild card playoff action. It is here, Michael. We have waited for it. Packers-Bears, third time in the postseason.
Yeah, third time in the postseason, third time in the last 35 days that the Packers and Bears are going to meet up here. It's kind of felt like through the month of December and early January that it was headed toward this all along, right? Round 3 of the oldest rivalry in the NFL, and it's almost here Saturday night.
Game that will be at 7 p.m. Central Time will be viewed nationwide, worldwide on Prime. If you're within the Green Bay or Milwaukee media markets, you can also check that out, I believe, on the NBC affiliate?
I believe so.
Used to get some pretty good notes from Duke Bobber before this. Now I don't get them anymore, so I have to remember to do them off the top of my head. And in that particular case, I didn't really look at it, but I believe it is the Packers TV network stations in Milwaukee, in Green Bay. Mike, before we get into the questions, which you can submit to X, YouTube, and Facebook to ask your questions of Mike Spofford, we did get the Packers injury report before this. Also got the Chicago Bears as well. The Packers' 6 players are questionable for this one. That includes Warren Brinson, Javon Bullard, Nick Niemann, who just this week was activated off of injured reserve after having a pectoral injury, Dontavian Wicks, Malik Willis, and Zach Tom. Zach Tom getting a rest day, we found out, on Thursday. Make sure I get my dates right here because the game is on Saturday. This is going to be the big one. Seeing exactly where Tom is at. He has not played since Denver. Certainly the Green Bay Packers want to have him back. Matt LaFleur said he's looked good in practice, but I also know Zach this week in the locker room talking about some of the things he's still kind of dealing with. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see, and it is a big one. I mean, you're talking about an all-pro, Pro Bowl level right tackle, whether he gets that recognition or not within the league and certainly within this building. He is that caliber player. That's how he's viewed. And as you said, hasn't played since injuring the knee in Denver. Packers missed him for the second game against Chicago, missed him for the game against Baltimore. So it would be big to get him back. And I know Matt LaFleur and those coaches are crossing their fingers.
Over on the Chicago Bears side of things, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is out. He had the concussion last week. But it does look like they're getting Kyler Gordon back. So trading one for the other. Gordon has only played in 3 games this year. Mid-season, was out early on, came back, went out again with the groin injury. He's a guy the Packers have played quite a bit. But certainly, from the Bears' perspective, it does change the algebra a little bit when you look at that slot position.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the Bears do, because with Gordon, as you said, not having played much this year, been, an extended layoff and whatnot, or actually I think he's had multiple layoffs in terms of his injuries. But do they just take Kyler Gordon and put him in the slot for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, or do they want Gordon to play the boundary corner and then they would move somebody else inside to play that nickel spot with Gardner-Johnson out? I'm not exactly sure which way they're going to go, but it'll be interesting to see on Saturday night.
Again, he's Mike Spofford, Wes Hodkowitz, Packers Preview, brought to you by Microsoft Copilot, here for the next 10 to 15 minutes, answering your questions on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, and we will start here with Jacob Miller on YouTube. What does Edgerrin Cooper bring to this defense compared to other linebackers across the league? Well, I think more than anything, I think Edgerrin Cooper kind of reflects the evolution we've seen at that position. Yeah. A guy that can blitz, a guy that can cover, and certainly, as we've seen a lot more this season, a guy that can defend the run. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's with Edgerrin Cooper, you can do so many different things with him. He can be a sideline to sideline guy. He can chase in the running game. He can also fill a gap and try to thump in the running game a little bit. He can drop back, cover a tight end or drop into a zone in coverage. And as you said, the thing that everybody likes to see him do more than anything is blitz. They like to see number 56 getting that call from Jeff Hafley to go after the quarterback, because he brings a combination of speed and power, coming from the second level that can be tough for offensive lineman to handle. So he's an all-around player who can do so many different things, and I don't even think we've seen anything close to Edgerrin Cooper's best NFL play just yet. Maybe he takes another step forward here in the playoffs.
Questions rolling in right now. Reva Marie Ames on Facebook. Do you worry about rust from players like Zach Tom, Jordan Love, etc., etc.?
I mean, I would say no, just because of the veteran status of those guys. I mean, when you're talking about, we spent a lot of time this year talking about Matthew Golden and his injuries and how it kind of set him back. You're talking about a rookie who hasn't played in the NFL. So when you have an injury and you miss some time, that's a much bigger deal in terms of sort of the rust and getting back into the swing of things, compared to a 4-year vet or a 5-year vet or a 6-year veteran player who's got dozens and dozens of NFL games under his belt. So when you're talking about guys like Jordan Love and Zach Tom, who have been there and done that regular season, postseason, all the games they've played, I don't think there's reason for concern there.
Richard on YouTube, do you want the ball first or do you defer? I think playing with a lead will help the run defense. And honestly, Richard, I think you can achieve both things. There was a time a couple of years ago where I thought the Packers defense desperately needed to play with a lead. That's where I was totally cool with Matt LaFleur in 2022, 2023, taking that ball if they win the coin toss. With what has happened, even after losing Micah Parsons, but with Jeff Hafley's scheme, I feel more confident about deferring. It's not, I agree with you, I think it will help the run defense if you can get out to a lead, but it also can help your entire team if you can shut down the Bears right off the get-go. Mm-hmm. Get off to the faster start. I feel like a good way to do that is with your defense.
Yeah, here's the one caveat to the whole coin toss thing. Now, of course, the Packers need to win the toss in order to be able to make the decision. But this is brought up by a reader in Insider Inbox, and I'm answering the question for tomorrow morning's column. You get to the stadium, and there is a significant wind going in one direction. If you win the toss, you may think about taking the ball first. So then for the second half, you get choice of direction, assuming the other team is going to take the ball first to start the second half. Yeah. Second half, you get choice of direction, and then you can set yourself up to have the wind at your back in the fourth quarter. If there is a wind that is either going, one way or another, and it's significant, that would be the one. Because I'm a defer guy, like almost 100% of the time. I like to defer. I like to see how the first half plays out, and then know that I'm getting the ball at the start of the second half. The weather conditions on Lake Michigan, Soldier Field, all the wind that could be involved in this game, that is something I think worth considering.
All right, let's go over to Corey Riley on Facebook. Will Oliver and Sorrell get more playing time this weekend? That's Colin Oliver, Barron Sorrell, Packers rookie defensive ends.
I mean, I don't have any inside information on this by any stretch. I think Baron Sorrell is going to get some opportunities in some certain situations. I think he could be a situational pass rusher or somebody that they call upon for a certain number of snaps. Colin Oliver at this stage, with him having only played the one game and he's only, he missed everything of his rookie season up until he just got back into practice a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure if there are going to be enough spots on the game day 48, for somebody like Oliver, who hasn't done enough to be regularly involved in special teams and everything, which Baron Sorrell does, so all of those are considerations as well.
I'm curious about Oliver, though, because when the Packers first drafted him, they did mention the special teams element, and with what he sort of brings, he is a defensive end. He very much is a pass rusher. They're not trying to work him at inside linebacker at all, but his body, his physique, and his weight, it's pretty similar to when you look at what Quay Walker walks around at, and then now this year with Edgerrin Cooper going up a little bit heavier. Fascinating to see. I think next year for sure, Colin Oliver is going to be a really interesting chess piece. So many different ways you can utilize him. I know he told Larry McCarron after the game, I'm going to cough really quickly, sorry to the fans. He told Larry McCarron after the game, he's not really that big of a fan of the Baby Micah thing because we're talking about a guy that may end up being a Pro Football Hall of Famer. But that being said, the relentlessness, the second effort, his speed, his ability to convert speed to power, it's not completely unfounded. He plays the game the way that basically Micah wins.
Yeah.
It's just that Micah does it at a level that we've basically never seen before in the National Football League.
Right.
He's going to be able to help the Packers. Will it be this Saturday night? I don't know. Baron Sorrell, that was a noteworthy performance.
Yes.
I think Baron Sorrell showed in that game he deserves some snaps. How many will he get? Your guess is as good as mine. Big B on YouTube. Mama B says, hi, Wes. Hi, Mama B. Hope you're doing well. It's been a long time. Big B, have a good time in Chicago this weekend. Be safe.
Yeah.
James William on Facebook. Oh, man, I got to answer it now. Will the Pookies get it done on Saturday?
Who are they?
The Pookies. I don't know if I have time to explain what a Pookie is to you. It's a term of endearment.
Okay.
They're talking about the Packers.
Oh, okay. All right. I just had to make sure I wasn't.
No. And I started reading the question before I realized what I was asking.
I didn't want to start talking out of school or anything.
Okay,
like
here.
that.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Pookie is primarily a popular, affectionate slang term for a significant other, close friend, or even a pet, sometimes meaning something along the lines of bae, before anybody else, sweetheart, or baby. It's often used playfully or to show deep care. Will the Pookies get it done this weekend?
I mean, that's what we're all waiting to see, right? I like the Packers' chances in this game. I've been saying it all week. I like Green Bay's chances, but you got to go out and prove you're the better team. Yes. That's what it comes down to. I think for the most part this year, in the two games that the Packers played against the Bears, the Packers showed they were the better team. But now, round 3, you got to do it again, and you got to finish it off.
Renee just called you Unk for that.
Oh. Thanks, Renee.
All right, a couple more minutes here. By the way, Wes Hotquitz, Mike Spofford, Packers.com writers. Packers preview brought to you by Microsoft Copilot. We got Adam Hobo-Heinrich behind the camera over here. And you want to talk about dedication, man? We had to shoot Packers preview on a Thursday because, we're flying tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to the airport
trying to get
tomorrow.
everything lined up. Our cameraman, Adam, is currently eating his lunch while we are doing this show. If that isn't, we talk about Bo Melton playing multiple phases.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a guy in the back of the camera.
Multitasking.
He's giving it all here.
Yeah.
Okay. This question is from Cameron on YouTube. Can our offense adjust and bring intensity along with consistency in this third matchup with the Chicago Bears?
Well, I don't think there's going to be any lack of intensity whatsoever. As far as the consistency part of it goes, I mean, the best way to be a consistent offense is to be a balanced one, right?
Yes,
where
sir.
you're not relying just on the passing game. It's about getting the running game going, being able to set up play action, being able to have, the whole playbook at your disposal for the vast majority of the time because the execution level is there and the production is there. That's how you become a consistent offense. You and I were talking on Unscripted earlier this morning. Bears over the regular season, they gave up 135 rushing yards per game, one of the worst run defenses in the league. Josh Jacobs is coming back, telling reporters this week in the locker room, this is as healthy as he's been since he banged that knee against the Giants a while back. Josh Jacobs is going to be a huge, huge part of this game for Green Bay.
A couple more minutes. I think we're going to set a record for the amount of questions we've had today, and I appreciate it. Answer this one really fast. This is a fun one. Packers Brazil on X.
Okay.
If we have a pick six from a defensive lineman, obviously a throwback to the B.J. Raji interception 15 years ago.
Off a quarterback named Caleb, I might add.
It was. Or is it Caleb, as Mike McCarthy might say?
Mike McCarthy might say. You said that.
I said that one. Yeah, off Caleb, yeah. This one's a little bit better than Caleb Haney, but
yeah, he's just a little bit better than Caleb.
If we have a pick six from a DL, which player should dance in the end zone?
I'll stick with number 90.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Lucas Van Ness. Why not? He's from Illinois. Make a big splash at Soldier Field. Why not?
Nazir Stackhouse. I feel it. I could see it. Nazir, see, and then Sam just said it, our intern, Nazir Stackhouse, pick six. Nazir was this close from an interception, this close from a sack. The guy had a great game. I thought he played his best game in Minnesota. My goodness, though, if he could have gotten that sack, it ended up going to Baron Sorrell, but I would have just gone on.
Nazir got interception in college, right?
Yep.
With Georgia.
With Georgia.
Now, did he score? Did he score on it?
No, that was where Warren Brinson had that wonderful quote in my story back in October saying,
yeah, okay.
Because
I was trying to remember I'm trying to remember all this now.
Javon Bullard said he thought he was going to score, and then I brought that information to Warren, and Warren's like, he wasn't scoring. He was running with the piano on his back, and then he got tackled at the 4-yard line. So, but yeah, no, Nazir, maybe it'll still happen. Jeez. All right, I'm going to get to this one first because this is a serious question. John Doe, 2011 on YouTube. What role will Trayvon Diggs play if that hasn't been asked already? Honestly, that is the question.
It is
for Saturday night.
Yeah, that is the great unknown as far as the Packers defense is concerned going into this game. Does Trayvon Diggs start opposite Keyshawn Nixon in place of Carrington Valentine, or does he come off the bench? Is there some kind of a rotation? We don't know. The Packers have not tipped their hand in this regard. Other than that, every time that Matt LaFleur has been asked anything along the lines of could Trayvon Diggs start or how big of a workload could he play, Matt LaFleur has not ruled anything out in terms of the workload or the potential role for Trayvon Diggs. So it is definitely wait and see, and that is something to watch.
It's a great point. This leads me into another question. This question is from Eric Steffen on YouTube. If Javon Bullard can't go, what do you think is the best option to fill that spot? Now, first off, Javon Bullard is questionable. He was limited all week. This all stems from the knee injury he suffered in the fourth quarter of the game in Minnesota. But as we've talked about, Michael, make no promises, but the guy did play through a fractured heel at the end of last season in Philadelphia. I would think he's probably going to be available for this game.
Yeah.
But let's still go through
And he did speak with reporters yesterday in the locker room as well, which normally players who are legitimately like wondering whether or not they're going to play, they usually don't like to speak to the media. He held court, a bunch of reporters around his locker. He didn't give any indication that there's that.
But you got to be careful. That's why the Packers are doing it that way.
No, they have to list it that way. If there's any question at all, they have to list him.
Yeah, but just for the record, I think there's two options really for the Packers. One that would seem the most tenable would be that Ketan Oladapo would play the nickel spot. That's what he did last week.
Yeah.
When they had Bullard and Evan Williams rotating on the back end, it was Ketan that got his first work there. And then the other option, it's not your preferable option, but Keyshawn Nixon made a name for himself in the slot. That is also another thing that could happen if you moved him back inside and then you got Diggs and you got Valentine outside.
Yeah, I agree with you. To me, those are the two options that would be available if Bullard is unable to go or if something else were to happen to that knee during the game and he needs to come out.
This question is from Jason Wild on X. Love your work, you two. How much of a life would Nick Norman, I'm guessing Nick Niemann, I love you, Jason, give the coverage units that have lost Bo Melton and Zane Anderson to injured reserve? It's a tremendous question. My heart goes out to Bo. The guy made an unbelievable tackle on that play and then unfortunately suffers that knee injury. He's out. And then also Zane Anderson's on IR. What does that mean? That means that the number 1, 2 top flyers for Green Bay this season are both not available. Neiman is a linebacker. He's not a flyer to the best of my knowledge, and I don't know how he would be utilized in a punt coverage unit. But when you talk about getting a spark, this is a guy that had double-digit tackles before his pec injury. Things you typically don't see a lot from a special teams coverage player.
Yeah.
It's something. There's going to be a lot of defensive backs that are going to have to step up to make up for that absence of Melton, that absence of Zane Anderson. But I think with Neiman, you're at least getting back one of your core special teams guys.
Yeah, a core guy and a guy, even though he's only been in Green Bay for 1 year, but a guy with a ton of special teams experience in the NFL, that can be really, really valuable this time of year.
Okay, a couple more questions here, and then Mike and I are going to call it a day. This question is from BW Collector on YouTube. Who do you think that isn't in the spotlight Who do you think that isn't a spotlight player that needs to have a difference? Basically, I think what they're trying to ask here is which player maybe under the radar, or maybe somebody we haven't talked a lot about, needs to be a difference maker in this game for the Packers to be victorious?
Yeah, that's a really good question because we've seen throughout the course of the year this team, both offensively and defensively, there have been different guys who have risen up and made plays at different times, et cetera, et cetera. When I look at this one and thinking about the difference between this matchup and what the last one was in Chicago just 3 weeks ago, I think Evan Williams can make a really big difference for Green Bay in this game. And that's not to say that he hasn't been talked about or that he's totally under the radar, because he's been a big part of things all year long. But I think the Packers missed him a little bit when he was out, and I like the possibility of him making a big play in this game.
All right, a couple more minutes here, then Mike and I are going to call it a day. This question, you know what? In order to ask this question, I probably need to get up the whole slate. Answer this one first.
Okay.
This is from Curtis Perez on Facebook. Do the Pookies eat grilled cheese? And I think this time it is no longer referring to the Packers. I think they're actually referring to you now.
Oh. Well, yeah, I love grilled cheese. I know you don't, but...
You know what's funny? The ultimate contradiction again, because I'm a walking... contradiction / I don't want to say I'm like a hypocrite, but I don't eat grilled cheese. That is the answer to that question. There's one grilled cheese I'll eat in this world, and it's the one my father has been feeding me for 30 years. With his grilled cheese, his tomato soup is the only grilled cheese I've ever really eaten.
Okay.
And his tomato soup's pretty much the only tomato soup I eat. It's kind of like how you get raised, like on your parents' cooking.
Sure.
That's one of those things that...
You can't have an alternative.
Now,
like
I will
that.
not eat grilled cheese without tomato soup.
Okay, all right.
Like I got it. I'm not going to just sit there and snack on a grilled cheese. But if you do the grilled cheese and the tomato soup.
See, and I'll have a grilled cheese anytime. B, I'll have a grilled cheese with any kind of soup. I don't care what kind it is. Tomato soup is great. Don't get me wrong. That's one of my favorites with grilled cheese. But I'll have it with any kind of soup.
Like minestrone?
Sure.
Really?
Why not? Yeah. Vegetable soup.
Dip it?
Chicken noodle. any of them. Just
it'd be like having a burger with SpaghettiOs. I guess you can do it.
I like soup. I like grilled cheese. Put them together anytime.
Buzzsaw Tucker Craft on X was asking, guys, we are coming up on quite the weekend of football. Can we get your predictions for each game? I brought this up. Do you want to just make a quick prediction on everything? Rams and Panthers.
Rams.
Bills and Jaguars.
Bills.
49ers and Eagles.
Eagles.
Chargers and Patriots.
Patriots.
Texans and the Fighting Rodgers.
Texans.
Packers, Bears.
Packers.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. Michael, I will ask this question, which I think is a good question.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just picked,
road teams?
No, I picked 4 of the 6 road teams.
Which you picked the Patriots?
I picked the Patriots and the Eagles as the home teams to win this weekend.
This question was from Brian Breckbill on Facebook, and I'm going to use it as kind of our outro. If the Packers don't turn the ball over, do you see the Bears defense stopping them? I look at this as a massive key to victory.
It is. I think it's of all of the keys to victory, and there are a whole bunch of them in this game, especially when it's a familiar opponent that knows you and you know them and all of that. It turns into a long list. But this is the one that is absolutely at the top of the list, and I think the Packers' chances to win this game go through the roof if they don't turn the ball over. when you think of the last game in Chicago, obviously the fumble by Josh Jacobs inside the 5-yard line was a big blow. That was a big turnover. But in effect, the onside kick was also another turnover.
Yeah.
It was a stolen possession by the Bears, right? I mean, it doesn't go into the books as a fumble or an interception for technically a turnover, but it was a turnover.
Yeah.
And if the Packers don't give away any possessions, if they don't let the Bears steal any possessions from them, I think Green Bay wins this game.
I agree with you. I think that's all this is about. You and I talked about it on Unscripted. I know it's posted right now. Maybe some of you watched it, maybe you haven't. But the Bears finished first in the league in takeaways. They finished, I believe it was tied for 23rd with 24.4 points allowed. 415 total points for the season. Excuse me. And the one time I didn't bring water up here. If you go back, there's been 10 times in NFL history a team has led the league in takeaways and also given up more than 23 points per game. The 2025 Chicago Bears are the only team among those 10 that have made the playoffs. It's quite the run that they've been on.
Yeah.
You respect it, but I think also if you're the Green Bay Packers, you can't look at this as some huge hill that you can't overcome.
Right. You look at all the rest of their defensive statistics, and there are all kinds of things that point to this defense being vulnerable, this defense being one that you can move the ball and you can score points on. But if they start taking the ball away, that's what they thrive on, and that it generates the momentum for the offense and everything else that goes on with that club. You have to protect the ball against Chicago.
And they are proficient at taking the ball away.
They are. They're good. They're good at it. It's not just luck or there are some turnovers that are luck. There are others where they're just good at it, and you have to be that. It has to be that much more top of mind for you as a player. You know, the way Adam Stenovich, I thought, put it yesterday was great. Like, if you're a Packers player and you have the ball, you have to make sure you still have the ball at the end of the play. Yes. Like, like it's sort of a silly way to say it, but mentally that's how you have to think of it. Like, at the end of the play, you still got to have the ball in your hands, because that's how you beat these guys, is don't let them take it away.
You got the fancy car, get it back to the ground.
That's right.
Funny question here too. The bookie worm asked, flying, why can't you go Amtrak? Listen, guys, if you know anything about this guy over here, Mike Spofford does not go Amtrak. This man is the jet flying.
Yeah.
Mike Spofford living.
Right. Sure.
We need a plane for Mike Spofford. There's no question about that. Oh man, now people are ripping on me for coffee. Yeah, Wes is coffee more than okay, thank you. Someone get him a water. The one time I didn't bring water, I do have my apple juice over there though, but it's too far away. He's Mike Spofford. I'm Wes Hodkowitz.
Apple juice?
Apple juice, bruh. You got a problem with apple juice? You drink orange juice.
In the morning.
Yeah, well, it's good for you. It's 3:46 Central right now. It's either that or coffee, man.
I just have to give you grief about stuff.
Jack just said too, is it peach juice too? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion.
Oh, he's Mike
Thanks,
Spofford.
Jack.
I'm Wes Hodkowitz. Packers preview brought to you by Microsoft Copilot. Primetime football this Saturday night.
Yep.
The Packers traveling to Soldier Field. Game again will be on Prime. You also can watch it if you're in the Green Bay market or the Milwaukee market and the local NBC stations. I think there's some other opportunities out there for you too, but I don't want to get into all those. I heard something about Twitch. You might be able to watch it on Twitch, but I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of Thursday Night Football on Twitch, but I didn't know if they were still doing that or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Things you learn when your playoff game gets scheduled for streaming.
That's right.
And then have to deal with it on your Q&A 6 days a week right after that.
Yep.
Mike, you got anything you want to mention quickly about the stories and content we have up on Packers.com? You have your One Last Look column tomorrow.
No, that's actually going to be on Saturday.
It'll be on Saturday, everyone.
So
One Last Look on Saturday. My story on Josh Jacobs tomorrow.
Yeah, you've got a story on Josh Jacobs coming tomorrow. I have a story on Jordan Love that went up today. We've got Packers Unscripted episodes from this week. We've got the final injury report is up there. I mean, all kinds of stuff. My midweek chat transcript from yesterday is up there if anybody wants to take a look at all those questions and answers.
Check that out. I had a bunch of stories that went up too. We had our Stand-Up Guy Awards yesterday.
That's right.
Credit.
Yes.
Give everybody kudos. Christian Watson, Josh Jacobs, multiple-time winners. Evan Williams, first-time winner.
Yep.
Get their names out there. I also was told by our wonderful crack social media department, Matt Donnelly, who last week made an appearance, a guest appearance, dropping off headwear for Mike Spofford.
Tell him to bring the apple juice next time.
Yeah, I'll have to bring the apple juice next time.
Yeah.
He has a really cool video, I think, coming up, a promo on Saturday.
Nice.
Prepping this game. I'll tell you what, man. I try to be a decent writer. We do our best writing. Our wonderful video people, the tremendous job both the broadcast department, the social department do, creating these videos to get you amped up for something. I mean, let's look at this, Mike, right? It is Packers. It is Bears. There wasn't this type of technology back when Curly Lambeau and George Hollis were running around in their respective communities, getting their football teams ready. But here we are in the year of 2026, the richest rivalry that sports has to offer, and we get it for the third time in the playoffs. It does not get any better than this.
It's all about the hype videos, man. And if you watch a hype video that doesn't get you hyped up enough, just wait for the next one, because there's another one coming.
It's always going to be there, forever and ever. He's Mike Spofford. I'm Wes Hodquist. This was Packers Preview before it went off the rails. Be sure to stay tuned to Packers.com, the Packers mobile app. And until next time, enjoy the game, everyone.